A team that I think has been very criminally underrated over the past couple seasons has to be the Memphis Grizzlies. Now last year is when we really started to see how talented this team could be, and I mean, we know that the Memphis Grizzlies beat the Warriors in the play-in and they made the first round. They did win game 1 versus I believe the Jazz, and they would go on to lose like 4 straight. But now that we're about a year later, it seems like the Memphis Grizzlies have really stepped up their game. I mean, Morant is playing at an MVP level. Jaren Jackson Jr. has been a player that's been pretty solid these past couple seasons, and also we have guys on their team like Desmond Bane who's really been stepping up. We can't forget about guys like Steven Adams and Dylan Brooks and even Kyle Anderson, who's been a pretty solid role player. All in all, they're not the most star-packed team. Like, you're not going to see like 2 superstars. Obviously Morant is the best player on that team, but other than that, all you're really going to get is good basketball, and I think that's the most important thing. There are some young superstars in the league that are really dominant, and on the stat sheet they're doing really well, and even maybe they are playing really well. But when you're not winning games, a lot of people start to criticize you. However, the Memphis Grizzlies have been winning games. In fact, I think my best friend actually told me that he said that the Memphis Grizzlies were going to be a dark horse team come this NBA season, which if we're looking at it right now is actually not that far off. They have the talent, they have the youth, they have everything you could want on a team, and most importantly, they have that guy who for them is Morant, who is an outstanding player that over these past couple of years has really started to develop. Every season Morant has only gotten better and better. He's probably not going to be an MVP candidate, which is absolutely fine, but we got to give this man the most improved player of the year. The man is averaging 25, 6 and 6 on 49% shooting from the field and a career high of 40% from 3, which was the one flaw that a lot of people said he had. So what did Morant do? Well, the offseason started and he started going into the gym working on his shot, and we can clearly see that it started to work. This past week, however, Morant has been on a tear, averaging 34.7 points per game, 6.7 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 1.3 steals per game on 56% shooting from the field and 80% from the 3. You heard that right. The man has been shooting 80% from 3, while the Memphis Grizzlies went 3-0 during that time span. Is it time that we start putting Morant in the top 3 point guards? Let me know in the comment section below if you think that Morant is a top 3 point guard. I would put Steph Curry and Trae Young in front of him, but Morant is right at that 3 spot. However, if Morant keeps playing the way he has, I think it's time we start putting him over Ice Trae. I think what's crazier about this is that the whole Memphis Grizzlies team currently has been going through this like little Rona outbreak, even though Morant has been staying out of it. I think it's just been pretty crazy how he's been able to carry his team in a really good way. So with everyone knowing that Morant is clearly playing like a top 5 player right now in the NBA, why are we for one not talking about Morant himself as a top player, but number 2, why are we not looking at the Memphis Grizzlies as a top team in the Western Conference and possibly a contender? I don't know if it's just me, I feel like every single year for the past like 5 to 10 years that the Memphis Grizzlies have always like slid their way into the playoffs. In the early 2010s, they were always like a top team in the West, and during like the 2014s and 15s, they were usually a top seed. I know Marc Gasol was really good back then, but I don't know, it just seemed kind of random to me. But this year, I don't think the Memphis Grizzlies' success is very random, because out of all the players that I've seen on the Memphis Grizzlies for these past couple seasons, you know, it was normally led by Mike Conley and Marc Gasol, but I honestly think the duo of Morant and Jaren Jackson might be better than that duo. Now, obviously, Marc Gasol is better than Jaren Jackson by a long shot, but no questions asked, Morant within his 2nd season was already proven he was better than Mike Conley ever has been. And when we look at it, I have this Memphis Grizzlies team with Morant and Jaren Jackson than the Marc Gasol Grizzlies. Trust me, I know a lot of old heads are probably going to come at me in the comment section below, but I'm going off what I have seen in these past couple seasons, because Morant is special and Jaren Jackson has the potential to be a top forward. Also, their team I feel like is a lot more balanced. I haven't even mentioned Desmond Bane, who's been going on a tear lately for absolutely no reason. Now, Desmond Bane has been pretty good shooting the basketball, but speaking of balls, hey y'all, this video is sponsored by Manscaped.com, the global brand for men's grooming and hygiene products. Now, Manscaped reached out to me about a month ago and they started sponsoring me, and I'm not gonna lie, their products are super useful. More specifically, their Performance Package 4.0. For starters, we have their Lawnmower 4.0, which actually does have skin safe technology, and it does have a 7,000 RPM motor. On top of that, they have this cool little light. I don't know why, I just love the way it looks, and it does help, you know, when you're in the shower. I don't know, I just really like the light. Next up, we have their Crop Preserver ball deodorant, which is super comfortable to use. You also have the Crop Reviver, which is just like the ball deodorant, but it's just a spray, which I'm being honest, this is probably my favorite product just because it's simple, it's fast, and it's really easy to use. In addition, you can also get these Manscaped boxers and their Shed travel bag. I've been using Manscaped for about a month, and I have to say, I definitely have been satisfied with what I've been getting. And if you guys do want 20% off your order and free international shipping, that's code Spex 20% off. Guys, code Spex 20% off. The link will be in the description below. Thank you so much to Manscaped for sponsoring this video and the channel for the past month. Also, Also, thanks for following your boy on Twitter. Now, I could not tell you the reason why the Memphis Grizzlies are getting as disrespected as they are right now, because it's not like they're just beating a bunch of bad teams and they're starting to stack up on wins. They have played a whole lot of talented teams and they've beaten them. They've beaten the Warriors early on in their year, I believe handing them their first L. Ja Morant only a couple games ago had a game-winning layup versus the Phoenix Suns that I got to watch live. Yeah, that man has ice in his veins. At this point, I feel like using the NBA media small market talk is honestly kind of like beating a dead horse. Well, more specifically, a dead Grizzly. Now, don't worry, we have to talk about Undisputed because they did mention of the Grizzlies a couple days ago, but the headline wasn't that the Grizzlies went crazy versus the Lakers. It wasn't the fact that Ja Morant put up 41 points. It wasn't even the fact that a lot of their team has been in Rona protocols. The headline for the Memphis Grizzlies being talked about was that the Lakers collapsed. I get it, we all have been talking bad about the Lakers, which we definitely deserve to do. They've been playing terrible, but that's like saying he didn't dunk on me, I just jumped in the air and he happened to hit me. That's like saying we didn't lose the game, we just played bad. That's like saying I'm not subscribed to Spex Media, but I'm a casual basketball fan. All jokes aside, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. But you're deflecting what actually happened and we're not even giving the Memphis Grizzlies credit. I did this with the Phoenix Suns for the most part, I did this with the Utah Jazz, and now I'm gonna do this with the Memphis Grizzlies. What is so hard about giving this team their credit that they rightfully deserve? What is so hard from people saying, you know what, let's talk about the Grizzlies, how this team is so special. Let's talk about the fact that Ja Morant realistically is an MVP candidate. But no, they're not gonna talk about that. Let's just mention the fact that the Lakers did bad. I swear to God, if you switch Lakers with like any other team, say the Miami Heat, I promise you Undisputed would not talk about it and they would move on like nothing happened, which is the sad reality for sports talk shows, and honestly it's kind of annoying at this point. Everyone knows the Lakers are bad, everyone knows that the Warriors are probably going to end up winning the championship, everyone knows that the Nets are probably going to end up going to the NBA championship, and just like his show, Stephen A. Smith's favorite team, the New York Knicks, are also garbage. The only difference is I would actually watch the Knicks, unlike First Take. The only difference is I would watch the Knicks getting blown out by 40 instead of one half of a First Take episode. Shoot, at least I wouldn't know what's going to go on in the Knicks game. I can maybe suspect that they're going to lose by 50 or maybe start to come back. Or maybe RJ Barrett is going to dunk over someone. I don't know. However, what I do know is that Skip Bayless loves to hate on LeBron and it's getting old. I swear to God, if I have to sit through another 5 minutes of you trying to deframe LeBron as someone that is not talented and you practically harassing him on Twitter and Instagram, I'm gonna lose it. It could be worse though. You could be Ryan Hollins, who just doesn't know anything about basketball. I don't have anything else to say about you. You just don't know what you're talking about. Or you could be Kendrick Perkins, who knows absolutely nothing about basketball and being a player that averaged about 5 points per game in his whole entire career. I don't know if you have the right to talk about any player being bad, as you were literally the worst NBA player I think we've all witnessed. I swear, I have never seen someone in my life try to start a catchphrase like carry the hell on so damn much. Like, how are you gonna force your own catchphrase that isn't even that good? It's just pure annoying and no one cares about it anymore. So yeah, I kind of just went at the NBA media for about a minute. My bad, y'all. With that being said, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like on this, subscribe, and notifications on. I'll see y'all boys in the next one. Have an amazing day. Take care. Peace.